Hey guys, so right now we're going to be going through 3 other movements of this next station. So to start things off, we're going to go through a stork based drill. Now this exercise, we're going to feel this in through the side of the outside of the hip, in through that glute med. So to start things off, I'm going to take a foot hip width apart position. I'm going to bring my inside knee up against the fridge here. You can use a wall as well too. I'm going to bend through the hips slightly as well too. So I have a slight bend in through my outside knee as well as my inside knee. Now from this position, keeping your eyes down on the ground, I'm going to be driving in through this side of the hip, pushing this inside knee up against the fridge. Now I'll get my darling assistant to come directly in front of me. Notice how I can keep my shoulder and my foot away from the fridge. I'm not letting my right hip touch on the fridge. I'm just having that contact point of that inside knee. From this position, I'm going to be contracting and holding, really forcing that inside knee into the fridge, feeling that tension in through the outside of the hip. After a certain amount of time, you recover, stand up, switch sides, same thing. So again, it's that control set, hinging through the hips, slight bend into the knee, bring that inside knee up against the wall, not letting the hip, the foot, or the shoulders touch. Big squeeze through that outside hip, hold, recover, and stand. The next movement we're going to go through, we need something to form a wicket or a hurdle. I'm going to be using some toilet paper. You can use whatever you have in ready access. That being said, to start things off, we're going to go through a lateral bound and hold. From this point, I'm going to be starting on my left leg, drop down into athletic position, drive off left leg, over the wicket, catch yourself on that right leg. Again, finding that stability. Notice how in this position, I'm able to keep my ankle flexed, my knee flexed, and my hip slightly bent as well in that athletic position, hopping, receiving, catching, and going over again. Now, if you're finding balance is a key issue for this, or you're finding that this is causing any based knee issues, what you can do for this one is, rather than a ballistic movement of a hop and jump, you can turn it more into a control lateral shift, catch yourself, control lateral shift, catch yourself, just focusing on trying to get that nose, knee, toe alignment, drive over, catch yourself, drive over, catch yourself, and repeat. Once you've done your prescribed number of repetitions, you can rest and move on to the third and final exercise. Now, that third and final exercise, you're going to be needing a PVC pipe, dowel, or a broomstick. From here, we're going to go elbows tight to the side, palms facing up. I'm going to grip strongly on that broom handle, elbows bent at 90 degrees. And from here, I'm going to squeeze, trying to force the fists together, developing that pressure in through the fronts of the shoulders, getting that controlled internal rotation. But from this point, my hands can't go any closer together because the dowel that I'm gripping is in the way. After holding this for a specific amount of time, I'm then going into the opposite direction. Imagine that I'm trying to move the hands, pivot the hands, rotate the hands away from each other. Big squeeze in through the backs of the shoulders now. Again, holding for a specific amount of time, keeping that rib cage down. Repeat, going back to that first direction, trying to bring the hands closer together into that internal rotation, and then opposite direction one more time, external rotation. Now, with this position, you can play around with hand positions that will change the angle of both internal rotation and external rotation. We're going through isometric contractions for here, so not changing that joint angle, but establishing that controlled force. Again, really fighting into that position, trying to bring the fists together or bring the pinkies together, and then trying to move the thumbs apart. Good.